Did you know 2/3 of cardiac arrests are more likely to occur at home than in any other place? A cardiac arrest occurs when the heart begins beating irregularly or stops beating altogether. By performing CPR, which include chest compressions and breaths, you are continuing blood flow throughout the body. By recognizing the situation quickly and responding correctly could mean the difference between life and death. And being that most cardiac arrests are more likely to occur at home, you could be saving the life of someone you love. Good morning, and for my job skills demonstration, I will be teaching you adult cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or better known as CPR. The supplies that I will be using include an adult CPR training mannequin, an adult breathing mask attached to a one-way breathing valve, and gloves. There are a few safety points in which you should keep in mind while performing CPR. The first safety point, you should always make sure that the scene you are approaching is safe. You do not want to cause further injury to either yourself or the victim. The second safety precaution, you should use a barrier if you are delivering ventilations or breaths to the victim. For example, using an adult breathing mask attached to a one-way breathing valve. But according to new CPR standards, if you are uncomfortable with giving breaths, you do not have to, as long as chest compressions are done correctly. Another safety precaution is that you want to use the proper hand placements while delivering compressions. The proper hand placement is placing one hand at the nipple line and placing your other hand on top, keeping your shoulders straight and directly above your hands, and pressing down 1/3 depth of the chest. And the last safety precaution which you should keep in mind is wearing gloves. Gloves provide a barrier if there is a chance that body secretions such as blood are present. When performing CPR, you should first determine that the scene is safe. Once you've determined that the scene is safe, you must check if the victim is responsive. You may do so by tapping on the shoulders firmly and calling out. If the person is unresponsive, activate emergency medical system by dialing 911. Once you've activated emergency medical system, check for any signs of normal breathing. Check the chest for at least 5 seconds, but no more than 10. If there is no breathing, please put on gloves and check the carotid pulse. You may do so by placing your index finger and your middle finger at the top of the neck underneath the jawline. Check the pulse for 5 seconds, but no more than 10. If there is no pulse, begin CPR immediately. Place one hand at the nipple line, the other hand on top. Keep shoulders above your hands and hands straight. Press down 1/3 the depth of the chest, making sure that you allow enough time in between compressions to allow the chest to fully recoil. Once you have done 30 chest compressions, you may now provide 2 breaths. Place the adult breathing mask on the victim. Make sure the narrow side is facing towards the forehead and the wider side is facing towards the victim's chest. Place your hands around the mask, providing a good seal in order to provide proper breaths. Then use a head tilt chin lift method by placing your hand closest to the victim's forehead and the other underneath the chin and tilting back to open up the airway. Then deliver 2 breaths. Make sure between the breaths you are allowing enough time for the chest to rise and fall. Once you have done so, you will continue CPR until emergency medical services have arrived. Now I will show you 2 cycles of CPR. First, determine that the scene is safe. The scene is safe. Sir, are you okay? Are you okay? The victim is unresponsive. I will now dial 911. Check for any signs of normal breathing. There are no signs of normal breathing. Check the pulse. There is no pulse. Begin CPR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I would now continue CPR until emergency medical services have arrived. Now to recap. First, check to make sure that the scene is safe. Once you determine that the scene is safe, determine if the person is unresponsive. You may do so by tapping on the shoulders firmly and calling out in a loud voice. Third, if they are unconscious, activate emergency medical system by dialing 911. Then, check for any signs of normal breathing. Check for 5 seconds, but no more than 10. Next, apply gloves and check the carotid pulse by placing your index finger and middle finger at the top of the neck underneath the jawline. Continue by giving, if there is no pulse, continue by giving 30 chest compressions to every 2 breaths. Continue CPR until help has arrived. Remember, during chest compressions, to push hard and fast. Remember that compressions should be done at a rate of 100 compressions per minute or 30 every 18 seconds. You should provide 2 breaths. Each breath should not take no longer than 1 second each. According to American Heart Association, 92,000 lives are saved yearly in the United States by proper use of CPR. But only 32% of people who actually go into cardiac arrest actually receive the proper CPR to save their lives. If more witnesses were trained in CPR, more lives could be saved. If you were put in a situation today, would you know what to do? Would you be able to save a life? Thank you, and that concludes my job skills demonstration.